Morning folks, hope you're all doing well. It's 8 o'clock on Sunday morning here. It's an absolutely beautiful day. I can hear the birds singing, the sun's out and it's not too cold. One bad thing though, we've just turned up to the allotments. I think we're the first one here this morning and somebody's left the gate unlocked last night. It's not ideal because the site we're at is at the back of a garden centre and the gate's also for the garden centres. They keep it locked, but they very kindly give us the code so we can all get through and get access. But we'll maybe just have to put a wee reminder out there just to let people know to make sure that gate's locked, because things have been stolen from the garden centres around here. In fact, at Christmas, the one down the road there, somebody nicked all the Christmas trees from the garden centre, believe it or not. What a thing to do. Anyway, today's going to be one of those days where we've just got those jobs to do on the plot. There's a couple of beds down there that need sorting out. They've got weeds all over them. Excuse me, I'm just going to go through the gate here, try holding a cup of tea, a camera and a bag all at the same time. Right, we'll pop through. And there's a couple of other things need doing. The shed needs tidying. After sorting the one at home yesterday, I'm not sure I can face tidying yet another shed. There it is behind us there with the water butt. And I'll just do a quick spin around. What I'll do in a moment is I will head down the plot, just show you what I'm going to get up to today, and we'll do some filming and show you what we're doing. Back with you in just a jiffy. Right, so let's have a wee wander down here. A couple of jobs to do. First things first is I must have walked past this hoop that's fallen over here about 100 times and I've never bothered picking it up and fixing it. Plus, it's a bit weedy in there. It all needs sorting out. We're going to get that done. And if we come down here, these two beds here all need sorting out. One's got an old turnip and a cabbage in, they need taken out. And there's loads of weeds in them, they need fettled and sorted, ready for probably onions and things going in there very soon. So we'll get those sorted. What we've been doing in the meantime though, is the interesting jobs, like building the lids for the pallet collars. They've got hinges on the back, and I'll do a separate video for them because, well, as you can see, we've got plenty more pallet collars that need they need lids built for them. So we'll get another video done for that, show you how we're doing it. And we'll have another wander back up here. This area here where we had the peas last year, I'm going to change that round a bit. I'm going to have them going east to west instead of north to south, and hopefully we'll fit more stuff into this space. We've got loads of beans, loads of French beans ready to go out, some broad beans. We've got, what else have we got? We're gonna have some peas on the go later in there, loads of peas. Gonna try and get more stuff that we eat and we use grown compared to stuff that I think that should just be grown. Right, what I'll do is I'll get things set up on the tripod and whatnot. I've got a cup of tea in hand, I've had my Weetabix, only one thing for it, and that's to get cracking. Back with you in a moment there and we'll get some proper jobs done. So I've got the cover back on one of those beds. It's not as bad as we thought. The frost has done a grand job of breaking up the soil. Tools of choice for today: wolf garten. We've got the handle, we've got the hoe, the tilling hoe and the rake, all the interchangeable heads, and the hory knife. Hopefully it'll make short work of these weeds. This is one of the last sort of traditional dig beds on the plot. We'll get it sorted, we'll get it in good shape, ready to get some stuff back in there. There's stage one done. Hory knife all the way through, get the big nasty weeds out to begin with. Second stage, get the Dutch hoe on the go over the bed, back for the tilling hoe. Let's get on with it. Right, that's that bit done. Hat's coming off. I did chuck a couple of weeds over the fence, don't worry. That's not another plot over there, it's just where people park their cars. On with the next bit. That one off, this one on. Right, last but not least, give it a rake over, get it nice and even and level, make it look nice and neat and tidy. Job's a good one. There we go, job done. What I'll do is I'll switch on to the handheld, I'll give you the once over and show you how it looks. So the first thing you can see is this is one of the places I still have to build a path down the middle here. I've spotted there's been a fresh delivery wood chips up there, so we'll get some weed stuff down there. some cardboard and things like that, just to suppress the weeds, and then we'll get some of this wood chip on top of it. Right, so here's the bed that's just been dug over. There we go. So it's not looking too bad. You can see there's still some little green bits of weed on the top there. I'm not too worried about them. I've got the worst of it out, and because we've hoed it, that's split the top of the weed from the bottom, from the roots, and hopefully that should kill off all of this green that you can see still left on the top here. That's all been chopped off and should disappear in no time. What I'll do is I'll fire in some chicken manure pellets and maybe put a top dressing of some of the 6X manure on top of there as well, ready for those onions that we got started last night to go in here and get going. Next job, pretty much rinse and repeat on this side. This side looks even worse. I'm dreading doing this, so we'll get that done. But it's just one of those jobs that needs to be done at this time of year. But what I might do first is just have a quick cup of tea. Back with you once that job's done. Okay folks, there we have it. Around about an hour's graft later, and we've got two beds dug over, all the weeds out. They've been hoed, they've been tilled, they've been raked over, and they've had a sprinkling of the chicken manure pellets on the top, ready for the onions to go in. All I need to do now is get a path built down there, which I think is probably a job for another day, because I've only got about an hour left here before I have to head off. And another thing I've done is tucked all the nets in and pegged them in. No idea why I'm going to do that, because from now until something gets planted in there, I'm going to hoe them over at least once a week, just to keep on top of any weeds that might sort of like sprout back up in there, because we don't want them to get established and take over when things are grown. Speaking of which, when I've got the onions in there, they'll also be spaced out so they're at least a hose width apart, so we can get the hoe in between them during the year when they're growing and get out any weeds that might crop up. Right, I'm going to go and have a much about, see what next wonderful job I can find to do, because it's a bit of graft here on a Sunday morning. I'll see what there is and I'll come back to you. And as quick as a flash, I've found something else to do. So we'll just scoot up here a little bit, and if I turn round this corner, and if you excuse my jabby finger while I spin the camera around, just up from the beds that we've been working on, these are the two potato beds. Now I need to start getting these ready. The potatoes are chipping already, and they'll be going out in a month or two. And I'm going to get some fleece, and the fleece will cover that up and it'll start warming the ground up. But I need to give it a bit of a once over before we get anything in there. And you can see this side of the bed here, I did an earlier video, I'll put a little link up the top there to have a look at. And we filled this bed with the green manure seed. And as you can see, hardly anything's come up, apart from stones. If I was trying to grow stones, I've done a pretty good job. And I think there must be some bulbs in there as well, because that looks like the top of tulips that were coming up. So as you can see, there's next to nothing come up here. So this needs a good dig over. It's not as bad as it looks, because if we're getting pretty close, you can see where it's been frosty and the ground's all sort of bumpy and split up like that. That's brilliant for breaking the soil up. That'll actually be quite easy to break up once I get in and about it. And if we come over to the one over this side, there's a few sort of bits and pieces poking their heads up here. I'm not sure what they are. And again, we've managed to grow a load of stones over there, so we'll have to get a shot of some of them. In this bed here, I've just been tipping a load of spent compost on it as well, from different pots and things that we've got knocking about. Oh, and look at that, what I've just spotted there, look at that. See if I can get on it. It's a slug egg. We'll be definitely sure to get a shot of that, because we don't want any of them. Right, I'll prop yous up on the tripod while I do this. We'll get these two beds dug over and looking much better shape. So I'm ready to get going with these two beds here. What I'll do is I'll do this bit off camera. You've already seen me dig over two beds, you don't need to see me do another two, but I'll get all those big stones out, we'll get the soil looking nice and good, and I'll show you what the end result is once I'm done. Here we are at the two potato beds you just saw. They've been dug over. See, I had to get the fork out and get in there to get nice and deep in there. So that's been dug over, it's been hoed, it's been tilled, it's looking quite nice. All that chicken manure's in there now, doing its thing, ready for the potatoes to go in, say in a couple of months there. Plus, I'll be getting some fleece for the next week. We'll get the fleece on top of there and start getting that soil warmed up nice and warm. All right, we'll just move over here. And here's the two beds that had all the weeds in them that we've dug over. And again, for some reason, I don't know why I fastened all the covers back down. I think it's just habit doing that. Because every week or so, I'm going to be getting in there, getting it hoed over, just so any weeds that are sort of knocking about still don't get established for us going into the warmer weather. Right, not a massively exciting video for you today as we walk back up here, but it's one of those things. I think Sunday morning, we've been down here, we've had a good couple of hours, done a couple of difficult jobs to just need doing, and it's quite satisfying to see it all dug over and looking nice and neat and tidy there, ready. So that's me done for today. Not a very exciting one, but one of those jobs that just needs doing. Those beds are all dug over and ready to go for the springtime when we start getting things planted out. If you want to keep up to date with what we're doing here, please give us a subscribe. Just click the button below. Doesn't cost anything, absolutely free. Or if you like this video, give us a thumbs up, and we love your comments and we like replying and getting a bit of chat going there as well. Right, that's me signing off for today. Bye for now, folks.